Hi, today I'd like to talk with you about the Read&Write extension for Chrome. It's the little purple puzzle piece that you have up in your toolbar. If you click on it, it opens all of the tools, and this bar is movable, so you can move it wherever it will work for you, so you don't have to have it in your way. When you're looking at an article, I'm in Newsela right now, you can use a tool to help you if there's a word that you don't know, like for instance, let's see, let me find a word here real quick that it can. Here's debating. So I'm going to highlight the word debating. You can either highlight it that way or I'll show you another way. And when I click on the little icon for picture dictionary, it shows me an icon just real quick for debating, so I kind of remember what it means if I'm not sure. If I close that, and I can also double click on the word and it just highlights the one word. I can also click on the dictionary and it will read it to me if I want it to. I just click.
An argument that expresses differences of opinions.
Okay, so you can just listen to as much as you need and then close it. Okay, and it automatically just clears that tool. Another thing that's handy is if you remember things better if you hear them than if you read them. This tool is very valuable. It's the text to speech. I can highlight where I want it to start, click the play.
On May 31st, 1911, an estimated 100,000 people gathered at a dock in Belfast, Ireland.
Okay, and if I click on pause, it will pause it right where I want it to stop. Maybe I heard a fact I want to put in my notes and then go back to it. And when I click pause again, it'll start up right where it left off.
Watch the launch of the Titanic. Considered to be an unsinkable ship, Titanic was the world's largest.
Okay, once again, I can click on it and pause it. Or if I'm all done listening to it, just click the stop and the rest of your tools will show up again. If you do prefer reading it without listening to it, this tool might be something that would be valuable to you. It's called Screen Mask. What it does is it grays out the screen and only highlights the part that you're reading. So as you're working your way down the page, it cuts out a lot of distractions. And just click on it again to turn it off. Their translation tool, you can set it up for the language you prefer, but it only does translate one word at a time. It doesn't do the whole article. If you want the whole article translated, you're better off using the Google Translator. As far as the highlighters go, the highlighters are a little glitchy in Newsela, and I'm going to show you the workaround. Newsela has their own highlighters. So when I highlight this, their highlighters show up over here. You do not want to click on these because these will not do any of the work for you that these will. These are smart highlighters. They will gather your notes, put them into a Google Doc for you, or create a vocabulary list for you. These don't do anything. They just stay on the page. So don't click on them. It will confuse these if you do. Just click on the ones in your Read&Write toolbar. I'm going to choose green here. See how it over highlighted the whole paragraph? I now need to go and highlight what I didn't want highlighted and sweep away the extra. There's a little broom there that clears it. The reason it's over highlighting is because of these being available, and it kind of jazzes up the smart ones. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to take notes on this article, and I'm just going to go through real quick here, highlight a few of the topic sentences. And this over highlighted, so I'm going to clear what I didn't want. And I'll go to the next paragraph. And this has some information that I might want to keep separate because it talks about the captain. Maybe I'm going to put everything that has to do with the captain in pink. And I'll show you why I'm choosing a color for that topic. Sweep away the extra. Okay, here's iceberg warning. And do that in green, and I'll sweep away my extra. And here's a little more about an officer. Maybe the officer I will also put into pink because it had something to do with what was going on the night that the ship sank. So I will highlight that in pink, and I'm going to do the whole paragraph, so that's fine. And I'll do another one in the green, the investigators, sweep away my extra. I know it takes a little extra time. You won't find this in other websites. Newsela, I believe, is the only one that it does this on. And let's see, let's do this one in another color. Let's say this one is about the weather conditions, so I'll do it in blue. Okay, now I'm going to create a Google Doc with my notes, and it will do all of the work for me, and it's going to organize my notes by color. So if you have a certain topic that you want to assign a color to, and you stick with that, then it's going to sort the information for you. To make your notes, you're going to click on the circle to gather up all of the highlights. So click Collect Highlights. And you can leave it on position if you want, and it'll keep it in the order it's in the article. If you change it to color and say OK, it will organize it by color. Now, the first time you do this, you're going to have a pop-up asking you to allow access to your Google Drive. You just click Allow, and it'll go in and make your document for you. It titles it Highlights Untitled. I'm going to put Titanic here because I don't need one more document that doesn't have its name. We don't need a bunch of untitled documents. And if you notice, it's organized it. So here's my note on the weather. Here's all the information that I had about the ship in general. And here's about the captain and the other officer. So it has organized my notes by color. It also gives me a link back to the article if I want it later. And it pretty much takes care of all of the work for you. Now I'm going to go back to the article and make a vocabulary list to show you how that works. What I need to do first, though, is I need to sweep away all of my highlights on the page to clear it. So I'm just going to pull that down and sweep away the highlights. And then I'm just going to go through and find a few words real quick here to show you how that tool works. So let's do estimated. Choose a word, get over highlighted. Going to sweep away the extra. Technology, now you need to make sure you get the word and not the punctuation mark after it. And you can only do one word at a time. If you try and do a hyphenated word or two words together, it gets confused and it's not going to make your vocabulary list. So just choose one word. If you double click on it, sometimes it doesn't over highlight. That's kind of a little tip. And sometimes it does. Let's sweep that away. And let's just choose one more here. Electrical. Let's see, I think I've used everything but yellow. Okay, so I'm going to sweep away the extra. Now, as you'll notice, whenever you pause your cursor over the tool, it tells you what it does. This one is your vocabulary list. This one has simplified the page. That works in some, I'll show you in a moment, but it doesn't work in Newsela. Click on vocabulary. Now that you've already made a highlighted notes page, it doesn't ask permission to get to your Google Drive again. If you're doing this first, it will, and you just give it the permission. Okay, it says vocabulary list untitled on the top. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to let it track that this is Titanic article. Okay, and when I scroll down, you'll see that it has the word, the meaning, and a symbol from the picture dictionary if there's one available for each of these. Okay, and then the other thing that's nice is this is an editable field. This means you can type something. So if your teacher wanted you to remember something important, you can put the notes here. Okay, so you can just, and it'll just save automatically for you. Okay, so that's most of the tools that you're going to be using in Newsela. Real quick, let me show you, I also have an article in Tween Tribune that I've opened, and I just want to show you how the article looks as you scroll through it. Okay, but there are other things on the page that might be distracting to you. So if you click on your Read&Write tools and move it over and click Simplify, it will show you just the article itself without all of the distractions. Thank you for your time.